Hey, everybody. It's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan. I have three breaking stories that are about the company Ripple and the digital asset XRP. The first is Azimo. Azimo is an XRP on-demand liquidity user, and they have partnered with Thailand's Siam Commercial Bank to deliver payments instantly from Europe to Thailand. I know many of you are aware that I have been watching this Thailand corridor like a hawk ever since SBI introduced Ripple to them from June 2017. It was announced at that time that they were doing the very first money transfer service between Japan and the Kingdom of Thailand using DLT, distributed ledger technology, specifically speaking about Ripple technology. And then it was a clip that I heard from December 2018. This is when the CEO, Brad Garlinghouse, was on a panel in Singapore, and this is what he said.
Cases for blockchain. We've gone very deep in solving this cross-border payments problem. As I mentioned earlier, I didn't say how many, but we have well over 100 customers worldwide, about 50% of which are here in Asia. One bank that I'll highlight that has been certainly aggressive and progressive in their approach is Siam Commercial Bank in Thailand. And the work they've done is really setting them up to be a next generation hub in solving as some in the correspondent banking community retract from some parts of the Southeast Asian market. Siam Commercial is actually solving that and using blockchain and even using digital assets to help solve that problem. So I think that...
So using digital assets to solve that problem. From that point, when I heard this, I naturally got my hopes up that this partnership with Azimo was going to finally announce that the on-demand liquidity was actually live in that corridor in Thailand. But unfortunately, I am going to be disappointed because, as Mission Sur la Lune told me, Ashish Burla tweeted out today that ODL is not live in Thailand yet. So I like the word yet, but I still have to wait yet. Okay, Facebook Libra, a quest for a stable global currency that has made it to basically white paper only, founded by Facebook and overseen by participating members, called the Libra Association, which is made up of many, including one such member called Anchorage, and that is here. And I want to talk about Anchorage because they are a crypto custody for institutional investors. And they also make claims that they are safer than cold storage, and they also have begun to actually service for institutional clients. They did so starting in January with the Merkle data acquisition. That was their first acquisition. And then in their blog, it was announced that they support custody now of XRP. And this is very interesting because I want to point to an area in their announcement that is quite forward-looking. Anchorage supports custody for XRP today, and we look forward to supporting additional services in the future. Furthermore, the flexibility of the Anchorage platform will allow us to support more advanced XRP functionality like payment channels should customer demand require it. So supporting functionality like payment channels, it means offering liquidity, I'm sure. And if I take you over to who is behind Anchorage, I know that there's a lot of investors you're going to recognize, like Andreessen Horowitz, Blockchain Capital, Lux, Polychain, Visa, and maybe Angels, which is not so much on your radar, but it's on my radar because a group from places like Twitter, Facebook, and Uber. And the 6 of them make up the VC venture capital group called Angels. Yeah, shout out to them. They are located in the Bay Area. All right, moving right along, you can see in the last 24 hours, there have been many articles that look like this. Top Ripple developer publishes method to increase privacy using blinded tags. Well, that developer is actually Nick Bogalis, the lead of the C++ team, who is standing to my right in this photograph that was taken in Tokyo last November. And as a person who strongly supports privacy, his method proposed, which is intended to be secure, minimal, and performant, I think is great. And I want to say thank you, Nick, for your work. All right, keeping it going, let's see. I'm going to take you to a McKinsey report that came out today. That's my last story to share with you. And it is talking about how they predict the payment revenues are going to enter a negative decline. And the slowing growth is expected to cost the payment industry $165 billion to $210 billion. This is a disruptive level, and it's very high, especially for auto, consumer durables, hospitality, luxury retail, airlines, just to name a few sectors. And the cross-border C2B is expected to be down 30%. Now, what does this mean for Ripple and XRP? Everyone in payments, they are going to be seeking more savings. Ripple and XRP deliver that more savings. So despite the decline, I do think the demand for Ripple and XRP will be up. Okay, I am jumping to the fluff. I have something that's a little bit on the, I don't know, I don't think bizarre, but it's about a yokai. And a yokai is a mythological creature that exist in Japan. There are hundreds of them. And this one is Amabie. And this yokai first appeared in the form of a woodblock print bulletin from the Kumamoto region of Japan in 1846. It looks like sort of a mermaid with long hair. It has bird-like beak and fish scales on the body and 3 legs. This was a sketch of what was supposedly seen in mid-May in that year of 1846 in the middle of the sea, as seen and described by one of the town officials. And the original copy, actually, of this safely sits in the Kyoto University Library, and then now has become an urban myth that the creature, in what was believed to make an announcement of a good harvest, but should some disease spread, you were to show the picture of this yokai in efforts for a cure. And then it disappeared back into the sea. Well, you can imagine in Japan on Twitter, there are just many, many versions of this showing up with the hashtag Amabie. And this one is really darling. This one, I think, is capturing a very contemporary Japanese aesthetic and style. And here is one that is really quite beautiful. It is from actually a person who was a stellar part of the manga community who has since passed away, but somebody has gone back in and then done a little bit of rendering with color on this one. This one is really circulating. It's so popular. And I want to talk about in relationship to this Hachimangu shrine. This is the Sakurayama Hachimangu shrine in Gifu. It dates all the way back to the 4th century. Yet it is connected to my yokai story, but I wanted to highlight that it has, during their cherry blossom season, which starts in about 2 weeks, one of the most beautiful festivals. It's on the UNESCO Heritage Cultural list of intangible assets in Japan. It's really one of the best to see, and it's so beautiful in Gifu. And this particular festival and parade has been happening for centuries. I just don't know if it's going to happen this year. Some 200,000 people usually gather to go see it. I'm so afraid that it is going to be put on hold. And it is one of the most iconic also when it comes to photographs, just because of how Gifu is laid out and all of the beautiful cherry blossoms that have been planted and are in full bloom at that time. And even at nighttime, this is one of those iconic photographs. And even at nighttime, when they light them up, I think it's just one of those real precious sights to see. But that shrine is distributing this picture of Amiba A, and they are doing it with the hopes that should this urban myth be true, this shrine is taking part in trying to make that happen. And I will leave you with one photo, which was on that thread on Twitter in reference to that yokai. And this gal has really made herself look like a beautiful version of Amima BA. And I just love it. I just think it's so whimsical, so cosplay, so Japanese in a modern way. All right, everybody, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.